Hi everybody, it's Mr. Treworthy here. I'm just going to take you through a quick teaching video on how to draw direct proportion graphs. So the last few lessons you've been looking at ratio and proportion. You know how to do direct proportion calculations. We're now going to have a look today at the kind of graphs that generates when we've got a problem that involves direct proportion. So I've got an example set up here. What we're told is basically that two items cost 36 pence. Doesn't really matter what those items are, they could be rulers, pencils, whatever. But we know two cost 36 pence, so our calculation would be to work out what the cost of one item is. So if two cost 36, one item will obviously cost half of that, which is 18 pence. And then we know for 3, 4 and 5 items, each time our costs just go up by 18 pence. So 3 items would cost 54 pence, 4 items would be 72, and 5 items would be 90 pence. So what we can now do is we can take the information in this table up here and transfer it into a graph. Each of these points, or each of these bits of information, give me a point on my graph. So I've got the number of items along the bottom, and I've got the cost up the side in pence. Ideally, I'd be doing this on square paper, but I don't have that available to me. You'll have it in your jotter, that'll make it easier. So all I'm going to do now is plot each of these points. So one item cost 18 pence, along to one item up to 18 pence. Two items cost 36, so up to 36 pence. 3 items cost 54, so up to 54. 4 items cost 72, so I reckon it would be somewhere about there. And 5 items, 90 pence, somewhere about there. So what we can now do, once we've got all our points on the graph, we just take our ruler and we notice that they line up in a nice straight line. So we can join them up. And the fact we get a straight line is the important thing. That's the thing that tells us we are dealing with direct proportion. And the other thing you should always get in a direct proportion graph is it will always go through the origin. And that makes sense in this problem. If I didn't buy any items, it wouldn't cost me any pence. So I always go through the origin here. So those are the two things to look for in a direct proportion graph. Make sure you go through the origin and make sure you're getting a nice straight line. So that's all there is to it. You should now be able to go back to your assignment, have a look at the questions you've been asked to do from the textbook, and have a go at them.